few months ago, my daughter Caroline curled up next to me on the couch after a day of school that had left her tired and frustrated. She began to tell me how she just wasn't sure who was a real friend. We talked through it, and I wiped her tears as she let out a big sigh and said, "I just haven't met my Gully yet." And it made me want to cry, because one of the things I want the most for Caroline to know is the beauty of female friendship and what it adds to our lives. We need those people who will listen to our stories and be there for us as we go through heartbreak and joy and figure out all that life throws our way. Those loyal soldiers who will defend us and stand with us when times get hard and it feels like the world is against us. It's funny how you can have almost no memory of the first time you meet a person who eventually becomes so important to you. Some relationships are so pivotal in your life that it seems like surely you must have felt a little bit of electricity run through your veins the first time you met them. Some type of jolting realization that feels like an internal neon sign flashing, "You've found one of your people! You've found one of your people!" But I guess that part of deep, lasting friendship is that it develops with time, almost when you're not paying attention. Over coffee, playgroups with preschoolers, braiding hair at summer camp, late nights whispering secrets in a sorority house, working in the same office or on an elementary school playground. God chooses to knit our hearts together with the person often when we're not even looking. And then a day comes when our heart is broken and we realize they're the first person we want to call, and you realize, oh, she is one of my people. The years pass and you wonder how many phone calls there have been when one of you sat and listened while the other poured out every possible emotion until there was no possibility that there were any feelings left anywhere else in the world. The answer? Too many to count. But here's the thing. It seems that over the last couple of decades, we've had a tendency to substitute the joy of real friendship with cheap imitations. We settle for community on Facebook and Twitter and through a series of text messages that allow us to communicate with someone without the commitment. We swim in the shallow pool of relationships because we all know that getting deep can equate to being vulnerable. And more often than not, that's a risk we're not willing to take. It can be so much easier to just text a few happy face emojis. Years ago, women had a better grasp of real friendship. Both my grandmothers had a close circle of girlfriends that they called first thing every morning and played bridge with over coffee as they shared secrets and recipes and how to get ring around the collar out of their husband's dress shirts. They rocked babies and yelled at each other's kids and diagnosed illnesses. But then society changed and women began to work outside the home and volunteer at their kids' schools and have lives that went beyond their neighborhood, and the simple joy of day-to-day friendship began to fade because everyone is just so busy. So instead, we like each other's beautifully filtered photos on Instagram and delude ourselves into believing we have a community. But here's my question. Do you really? Do you have those people that will show up on your doorstep with food and Kleenex when the hard times come? Is there someone in your life that can look into your eyes and ask if you're okay when they already know you're not? Because those people are the ones that make life worth living. They are the ones who will hold our hands as we confess that our heart is breaking, our marriage is struggling, and the oldest kid is failing math. They cry with us when we lose a parent, hear a bad diagnosis, or have a day when we can't get out of bed. They cheer us on when we finish our last round of chemo, walk down the aisle toward the man we prayed for, watch our baby graduate from high school, and finally fit back into our skinny jeans. They are the ones who make friends seem like it's not a strong enough word to describe what is really the beat of our heart. Because depending on the day, you are each other's mother, sister, friend, nurse, decorator, cheerleader, stylist, or therapist. There are probably only a handful of times in our life when someone walks in who will change us forever. When we find someone we can love with our whole heart, who will challenge us and shape us and make us feel like the world is safer and brighter just because they are in it. A person who loves you for exactly who you are, yet teaches you to be better because of who they are and how they live their life. But having your soul knit to another isn't for the faint of heart. It means you bear your own hurts along with those of your friend. You cry when they cry, and you laugh when they laugh, and you come up with plots to kill someone who causes them any pain. You love harder, you laugh louder, you live richer, and you become more together than you could ever be by yourself. It's putting your heart and your name in the hands of another person and saying, I trust you with all of this, as they do the same. And to borrow a quote from Stephen Schwartz, We will know that whatever way our stories end, they will have rewritten ours by being our friend.